Well, it's certainly easier to get people engaged in the sense of getting them in the door. So it's so much easier now to respond to something that provokes outrage or a strong feeling with some response. And that response is often mediated by social media. I've been involved in starting a bunch of these online movement organizations that are very good at kind of harnessing that moment and turning it into initial political engagement. Then the bigger question is, well, where from there? And so some organizations and movements have gotten very good at structuring that participation so that initial engagement can be built on, people's commitment can be grown. But in other contexts, those things are just very ephemeral, right? They're a day of outrage, and then they kind of crest, and there's no home for that energy that's being created. What often happens with these movements is, you want other actors to enter the space, take the energy created by them, and try to build other kinds of interventions, institutions. So you think about how, in response to Me Too, this Time's Up initiative emerged. The Time's Up initiative is an organization that is trying to turn that energy into specific demands in a bunch of policy areas. So what you really ideally want is this kind of relay between movements and institutions. So you get the energy of these movements. You don't try to make the movements into institutions necessarily, but then you get institutions which harness them in order to push the message they create into real change.